day, vinyl community. Happy Memorial Day to my fellow folks here in the United States. So, for those of you watching from elsewhere, this is a day where we honor our veterans, those who have um, gone before us and sacrificed their time, their sometimes their lives, and just fought for hopefully good causes. We know sometimes there are wars that are fought for some shady reasons. So I just want to preface this video that this is not something that I'm pushing, not pushing for war. I'm not a pacifist, but I'm not a warmonger either. I just want to, tip my hat to those that have laid their lives down for the freedoms that we enjoy here in our country, but there's freedoms around the world that I think there's people that benefit from the United States and our military. So I don't want to get too political. I'm just going to share 10 records that it may just be a song, just one song that has to do with war, has to do with fighting. Of course, some of these are anti-war, which is good. We need to speak out against violence. But some of these are, bands that have done songs as from the perspective of a soldier, or how it has negatively impacted their lives when they come back. So I'm not going to get into the lyrical content. I'm just going to pull up an album and then show or at least mention at least one song. Some of these albums have, potentially have two or maybe even more songs that deal with war and just being a soldier. So without any further ado, I'm going to start off with some of the more obvious ones. Uh, you're hang with me past the first few, because I'll get into some deeper bands, deeper cuts, and it's not going to all be the most obvious. So starting off with Metallica, Master of Puppets. Obviously, the album cover, how does that not impact you? Just to think of a field with soldiers that have gone before us, and sometimes it's far too many. We think about the men and some women that died in World War II, World War One. The numbers are staggering. So from this album, Disposable Heroes definitely fits the theme. So number one, number two, which I think is an obvious follow-up to that, Megadeth, Peace Sells, but who's buying? Of course, that song alone. I don't know that there's any other war songs on here, but Megadeth have certainly done their fair share of war-themed songs, even up to the more recent albums. But what a great one. Peace Sells, but who's buying? And just look at the war-torn city. It's heartbreaking. You got the UN and all the flags there. Something cool that I've gotten in recent years that I've stuck in with that is a flyer from that time period. We got Megadeth and Flotsam and Jetsam playing in a place in Baltimore, Maryland. A really cool promo flyer. All right, next, about the war. I think just about every album that I have of theirs it definitely has a strong war theme. Death metal, Jungle Rot, Terror Regime, and just that roaring tank kind of screams World War One, World War Two, maybe more so World War Two with the tanks. Voice Your Disgust, Terror Regime, Utter Chaos, Carpet Bombing, track number 10. Yeah, just intense death metal. Another death metal band that has always kind of revolved around war themes, not always necessarily modern war themes, but if you know Jungle Rot, then you certainly know this next band, Bolt Thrower. And I picked out one of their maybe, not one of their earlier ones. I don't know that this is one that most fans would grab for their first or second listen, but it's a great album, Mercenary, and you've got Laid to Waste, of course, Mercenary, the track, To the Last, Powder Burns, No Guts, No Glory. Strong war themes throughout this band's career. Definitely a greatly missed band. Next up, this will be number 5. I'm going to switch over to CD because I do not have any of this band's albums on vinyl. I have a few on CD, and that's Sabaton, Heroes. Again, strong war theme throughout this band's career. No Bullets Fly, Inmate, 4859, The Ballad of Bull, which I would imagine would be Bull Run, Soldiers of Three Armies, and et cetera, et cetera. What's cool about this particular version of the album is it's got 2 live CDs. Track or CD2 and CD3 are from a cruise in 2014. So you got two live albums of some varying cuts from this album and further back into their discography. All right, and Laz Rocket, Know Your Enemy. Got kind of a Psycho Rambo kind of character there on the cover, launching out a that's certainly not a bullet. It's too big to be a bullet. That's like a rocket launcher. And some of the tracks on here, Demolition, Hiroshima, Shot to Hell, Self-Destruct, Means to an End. Again, a lot of war-themed songs. Laz Rocket, I believe out of LA. Great thrash band. All right, that'll bring us to number 7. Just in case I didn't mention it earlier, I've got 10 that I've pulled. So number 7, Mekong Delta. They're self-titled. And despite the creepy creature there on the cover, you got a guy there, Army. I believe, I don't know. It could be a little sci-fi action going there too, but some of the tracks, let's see, Hero's Grief, Kill the Enemy, Without Honor, Back Home. So this being their first before they got too technical, this one's probably more straight, as straightforward thrash as they ever got. This one originally released in, I don't know, because it's not there on the back. Maybe on the insert. I'm thinking this was 87, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking that one was 87 or 88. One of my favorite thrash bands up next, their very first release, War and Pain, Voivod. And I believe this was 84 release, at least the original. This is a later pressing on steel, blue, gray marbled. And so, of course, those of you that follow Voivod, they like their sci-fi themes, but definitely some war themes along with the sci-fi. So this one's got nuclear war and, of course, the title track, War and Pain. Of course, Aways, awesome early artwork here. All right, we got 2 more. So this one, for the Americans here, this goes back to the Civil War. This album, most of the tracks I think on here are Civil War themed, and I guess a controversial band in the last few years, but I still love their music and will continue to buy anything that is put out by this band, and that is Iced Earth, Glorious Burden. This is 2024 re-release. I don't remember the original release date on this one. It might have been around 2000 something. But Mr. Schaefer who is really big into American history, did a fantastic job on this album. So definitely a album to remember our past and how our country was being ripped to shreds during this war, and just over some of the ideological differences between the North and the South. And of course, we had people that in the country, in the South that supported the North, and people in the North that supported some of the views of the Southerners. But again, I'm not going to turn this into a history lesson, but really great album. Love themed albums. And then this next one comes from a British band, so we'll throw in some new wave of British heavy metal here. And it's Saxon. This is Innocence is No Excuse. Let's see, it's a promo version, promo press here, and just one track that stands above the rest, and that's Broken Heroes, which is just a fantastic, kind of a softer song, not quite a ballad, but just in remembrance of those who have gone before us and fought for us. And of course, like the United States, the English Army and Navy and their military have fought in a lot of wars. And there's a lot of people that have lost loved ones in support of their freedom. And just a fantastic cut. If you're not familiar with that particular song, some people might, this was when Saxon was starting to go in a slightly more melodic, I hate to say the word poppy, but some of their follow-up albums after this got a little poppy maybe. But that's a great one. Check it out if you're not familiar with it. And a band that I really almost included in this, again, covers a lot of war themes, is Sodom. And I definitely very easily could have pulled out a whole bunch of different Sodom albums. But if there's an album or a particular song, a war theme song that you love, mention it in the comments. Slayer's another one, definitely quite a few songs that could have been pulled from Slayer. So yeah, give me a song or two or three, or make your own list, maybe do your own video. Appreciate you all watching. Those of you here in the States, happy Memorial Day. Thank you. If you have served in the military, or you have any family members who have gone before us and served, thank you for your service and for their sacrifice. God bless you all. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.